Have you ever heard of a place where an entire group of people vanished without leaving behind a single trace? No crime scene, no bodies, not even footprints in the dirt? This is not an urban legend. This is a true account buried in police records and whispered by locals who refused to go near the ruins. It happened at a small rural high school, an ordinary building with cracked chalkboards, faded lockers, and the smell of old books in the hallways. On one chilling night, every single student and teacher inside disappeared. When parents arrived the next morning, the classrooms were empty. Desks were still neatly arranged, lessons half finished on the chalkboard, and cups of tea on the teacher's desk still warm, as if everyone had been erased in the middle of living their lives. And to this day, not a single one of them has ever been found. This is the story of the school where an entire community's children disappeared overnight. The school sat on the edge of a quiet countryside town, surrounded by fields and dense woods. It wasn't large, barely 120 students from ages 13 to 18 attended. For years, people told strange stories about the building lights flickering in empty classrooms at night. Echoes of children laughing when the hall should have been silent, teachers who claimed to hear footsteps following them home. But no one took these rumors seriously. Until October 12, 1998, that evening the school held a special overnight study camp. Dozens of students stayed late, preparing for upcoming exams. Teachers supervised, parents waved goodbye, and by 10 p.m. the gates were locked from the inside for safety. It should have been just another night of studying, but it became the last time anyone ever saw those children alive. The next morning, parents arrived with breakfast boxes and extra clothes. They waited outside the locked gates, but no one came to open them. When one father climbed the fence, he walked into a nightmare. The school's front doors were wide open. Classrooms were perfectly neat, as though frozen in time. Books lay open on desks, pens uncapped, even candles still burning faintly on some tables, but not a single person was inside. The police searched the entire building, every room, every corner. They combed the surrounding fields and forests with dogs. No footprints, no signs of escape, no signs of struggle. It was as if 120 students and staff had simply evaporated. The investigation launched one of the strangest missing persons cases in the country's history. Theories poured in. Some said it was a mass abduction, but how could kidnappers take so many people without leaving a single trace? Others suggested mass suicide, but there were no notes, no bodies, no poison, no evidence. Some searched for underground tunnels, but none were ever found beneath the building. And then stranger stories emerged. A janitor from the nearby district confessed, "We once saw something in the school's basement, a sealed door that was not on any blueprint." Behind it, he swore he heard whispers in a language he could not understand. Locals whispered darker explanations. They said the school was cursed, built on land that once belonged to a long-forgotten village that vanished the same way centuries before. Others believed the teachers had accidentally led the students into some kind of ritual that opened a doorway they could never close. What truly unsettled investigators was what they found on the chalkboard in the main classroom, a single phrase written in shaky handwriting. "We are not alone in here." The school was immediately shut down. Police guarded it for months, but nothing more was ever uncovered. Families were left in torment, some refusing to move away, waiting every night for their children to come home. The building fell into ruin. Windows shattered, the roof collapsed, and weeds crawled through the hallways. But here's the chilling part. Those who dared sneak inside after its closure reported terrifying experiences. Children's laughter echoing down the halls, desks scraping across the floor on their own. And at midnight, some claimed to see silhouettes of students still sitting at their desks, frozen, staring blankly forward. To this day, not one student, not one teacher, not one staff member has ever been found. Families were left with no graves, no closures, just an endless silence. The building still stands, hidden by overgrown trees, avoided even by police. Locals warn travelers never to step inside, especially after dark, because those who go in sometimes say they hear voices whispering in the classrooms, voices calling out names that should have belonged to the missing students. And some who have gone inside alone swear the chairs scrape back, the desks creak. And when they turn around, there are rows of faceless children staring at them, as if waiting for them to take their place. So the question remains, what happened on that night? Where did everyone go? And if they really did vanish into another world, who's to say they're not still waiting, just on the other side of the wall, listening for the next person to step into their school?